I remember the night that she cheated on me. I knew it before it happened. I woke up in the middle of the night and I felt my chest just like getting stabbed. And I just knew something bad was happening. The next day I woke up, I couldn't get a hold of her. And I spent the whole day trying to figure out what was happening. And I got a photo message in my Instagram from someone that followed me of a picture of her with some other guy. And then I knew, and I had the picture, and I messaged her again, and I said, hey, yeah, I got this picture. Now's a really good time to be honest with me. And she said, I met Cameron. And I was like, who the fuck is Cameron? And she's like, Cameron Dallas. It hurt like hell. But the next day, she deletes all our photos that we'd ever posted together on social media, just wiped the grid clean, and posts one new photo of her and this guy.
What? On day one?
On day one.
Oh,
and
my God.
it was a Getty Images paparazzi photo on Rodeo Drive.
How do you compete?
I was a fucking loser again. And not only a loser, just like the biggest loser you could imagine. That moment was like worse than depression. It was just like total apathy. Yeah. Like it was just I felt like everything and nothing. Like heart ripped out and just couldn't even move. Like that feeling like I can't even leave my bed. I'm so hurt.
Yeah.
You know what the worst part about the whole thing was?
What?
I got back with her.
Oh, no.
Fellas, this is why I tell you dudes every day to focus on yourself, on self-improve. That's the reason why he got back with her. First of all, he was focused on her. That's why she cheated on him. Whenever you chase women, they run from you, dog. Whenever you put all your focus on a woman, she's gonna focus on somebody else. Once you focus on your purpose, that's when she's gonna focus on you, because she sees that you're going up in life and she wanna be a part of your life based on that. That's how women are, bro. They always wanna be next to the best thing moving. They always wanna be next to the best option. Who is the best man in here? That's the life of a woman. And the fact that this brother, he didn't self-improve, or he weren't self-improving, he went back to her. Because when a man don't self-improve, he becomes both physically and mentally weak. So once your girl do some bird shit, you don't have the strength to move on because you're a weak bitch, because you was in love with her. And that's why I tell you all, it's easy to get the pussy, just don't fall in love. But when you fall in love with her and you're focused on her, it's going to be hard to move on, brother. She's going to be on your mind all the time because you was living for her. You weren't living for yourself. Where it's like, okay, she did some bird shit, but it's okay. I'm just going to focus on my purpose. And I'm going to look at her action as a simple distraction that I got to get rid of in order to keep growing. But the bottom line is, you don't take focus off of your purpose. From the time you put your focus on a woman, things like this will happen, fellas. I'm trying to tell you, as a man, you shouldn't fall in love. That's for bitches. Let them fall in love. Let them, oh, I'm in love with you, baby dog. That's for women. As a man, that's not you. You got to stay strong. Like, you got to stay firm. You got to stay focused. Because if you don't, a woman will take advantage of you, bro. And that's just what it is.
So I'm going to share a little bit more of my story about how I was like ready to date again, and then what I did to like protect my heart in the process. There's another Black creator on this app who recently got engaged, and she basically, people were asking like, what was the prayer? What was the prayer? And she shared that the prayer had more to do with her than it had to do with him. So my preparation and my boundaries and the way I acted on those had a lot to do with me and less to do with the men I was dating, though I held them to a standard, for lack of better words. So I became single right before my 28th birthday, so 27 going into 28, and it had almost everything to do with like more of what I wanted as opposed to something he did. Now, of course, there were actions that led me to be like, all right, let's pump the brakes. However, there was a big maturing for me that happened at the time, and I'll tell you about it. I knew there was a way that I wanted to spend my 30s, and he couldn't give it to me. And the only person that could give that to me was myself. So essentially, I broke up with him. We were just going in two different directions. And I I basically spent a few months just working on myself, strictly working on myself, not dating, not trying to see what was out there, like working on myself and my own boundaries. And this is essentially what those boundaries were. First was not letting me get too caught up in someone's potential, because I don't know this person. If I'm newly dating them, I know nothing of you. I know nothing about your habits, your patterns. So I can't give credence to what you're showing me, and it feels bad in hopes that it will get better. What I see is what I get with somebody. So for me, it was like, all right, Jordan, open your eyes so that you can see what someone is giving you is all they have to give. Do not read into that anymore. My second thing was being real comfortable being by myself. For 10 years of my life, I was so concerned about somebody else, and I was like really concerned about how somebody else was viewing me, where we were, what we were doing, who we were hanging with, what dating life looked like. Like I was so wrapped up in that I had really let go of what I wanted for myself and what I really thought was important about dating somebody. So I said, let's get real comfortable with myself. Let's be cool not having a man. Because that's what a lot of people like forget. Like the goal is not to have a man. Honestly, the goal is to be good in yourself. And then if a wonderful partnership happens upon you, God bless. But I knew I didn't want to get caught up and have my identity tied in being somebody's girlfriend. Then I made me a list of 5 ways that I want to be treated by a man without having to prompt him to do it. And if a man honored those 5 things, then we can continue dating. And if he didn't honor those 5 things, no, like harm, no foul. It's cool, but I bow out gracefully instead of being like, oh, stick around and maybe he'll. No, he didn't show you that early because I wasn't asking for a lot, or I wasn't requiring a lot from a partner. So I said those 5 things. If you want me to share those 5 things, let me know. I will certainly share them. But my boyfriend just like blew them out of the water without me having to ask any of them. Last thing that I learned to do was really let go of my sense of attachment and ownership of someone. We don't truly own anybody. We're all individually operating from our own perspective with our own wants and wishes in a world that looks different through all of our eyes. So there's no way that we can own somebody's everything. We can't control somebody's every action, every move, every thought, every desire. So I worked on getting rid of like my attachment to own somebody and wanting to be like eat up every ounce of their day. Like they have lives that happen outside of us. And I can't control what he's doing when he's not around. You know, I can't determine how he's going to act when he's upset. I have no control over any of that. All I can do is sit back and be a witness. And if I like what I see, then I stay. And he gave me every reason to stay without feeling like I had to own his time. I had to like manipulate or own the way he acted. And that's why I really feel like that last part is probably why we're in such a great space and why we have maintained a great space, because he's not mine to own. I'm not his to own. We just love the hell out of each other and work really hard to get it right every day. So I hope that helped. If you want to learn or know any more, let me know, and I'll make another video to help with that.
For every man, there's a woman.
And for every dummy, there's a dummy.
Fellas, this is why you gotta do a background check before you choose to wife up a woman. Now, usually, right, the cycle of a woman who is for the streets, usually how it goes is she play the streets in her prime years, and then when she reaches the age of 30, that's when she decides to settle down. But really what it is, that's when she decides to find a sucker, a beta male provider. And what she's going to do is use him up, drain his energy, and she's probably going to return back to the streets when she's probably in her mid-30s or late 30s. But that's usually how it goes. It never fails, right? So, like, if you listen to her, she said she got rid of the boyfriend that she had in her 20s, right? So that's probably was a dude who was the fun guy, you know, the player type. But she knew he's not going to take her serious. So then she reached a point in her life where, man, I need a man who is going to take me serious, because she's about to be 30 and she knows she's no longer going to be in her prime. So what she wants is a sucker. And you all have to understand, this is the mindset of those women. That's why a lot of times, bro, if you meet a woman single who is in her 30s, you really gotta wonder, like, okay, why are you single in your 30s? Like, what you been doing in the past? And like a lot of times, fellas, that woman probably been getting run through in the past, fam. It's pretty rare that you find a single woman in her 30s that been a good girl in her 20s. Because if she was a good girl in her 20s, bro, she would be married. I'm just keeping it real, bro.
Erik Spoelstra absolutely got the bag just weeks after finalizing a divorce with his wife. People on Twitter were quick to point out how astute this move was from Spoelstra. The deal was 8 years, 120 plus million, the most ever guaranteed for a coach. So here's his wife, Nikki, and the news came out of their divorce after 7 years of marriage on November 29th, so like 5 weeks ago. Probably takes some time, some negotiation back and forth to sign a contract extension, so looks like in the last 5 weeks, bro, to work, getting the bag. Now the statement they makes it sound like it was a mutual decision. Sounds like there was no blood, but you can tell he waited on that extension until the divorce was finalized. Shout out to the because they're bored of money. Himself relayed this job video coordinator to like the in the NBA. This was 30 years ago. Video coordinator, he's getting the most NBA coach gotten to be like the best. He's got. He's only like old. A lot of time ahead. Shout out for getting the deserve and timing a few divorce.
This right here is a beautiful thing, bro. The fact that the Miami Heat organization waited until Erik Spoelstra, the head coach, finalized his divorce to give him the bag that he deserved, that he earned, that he worked hard for. Salute to the Miami Heat, bro. And I just hope this is going to be used as a blueprint going forward to avoid women taking men hard-earned money, bro. To me, sad when a man work hard in life, bro, and allow a bird to just come through and take all that he earns. So it's just good seeing this, that the Miami Heat will hold down someone who held them down. That shows that this organization is very loyal. They have integrity and they have morals. And they don't feed the birds. All right, so that's just what it is.
Do women feel like they should compete for a man?
Why would I compete when I'm the prize?
What?
No.
Like,
The prize in terms of you as a man you're pursuing me.
you mean by default?
No, I'm the shit. So I'm not fighting for you. I'm not playing no game for you. If you want to play the field, that's fine. We can both play the field together. And at the end of the day, when you sit down and you look at all your cards, if you decide it's not me, that's your mistake to make. But what I'm not about to do is sit here and make a fool of myself and do this whole pick me thing for what? You see what I bring to the table in the beginning.
If I ask you what exactly is on this
Do you
fucking
bring to the table?
Yeah, what is
I would tell you I'm the table in the leg.
Oh Lord, I'm tired of hearing that shit.
I'm just saying though. I'm not
Hold on,
trying
she
to.
said she the table. That's a red flag.
Why should I have to prove my worth to you?
If you saying that, I gotta show you my worth, that means you're not showing me your full potential.
I feel like you knew my worth from the beginning.
No,
you
I only knew
me.
what attracted me to you.
Right.
But now you gotta show me what's more. What's the other
yeah.
shit?
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. Y'all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch. Y'all already know, man. STC, support the content. If you guys haven't yet, go ahead and follow me right now on Facebook. I'm going to be posting content every day on Facebook starting from today. Follow your boy right now, AyeQ Reactions.